Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to this new bite-sized session. Today is a really sunny day, so enjoy this sunny day and especially enjoy the session delivered by Sylwia, which is called Exit Tickets with Risk. So just a quick reminder about the session. As usual, we do record the session and we do stream online the day after. So that means tomorrow from 4:30 to 4:45. Of course, you can find this session also on Staff Info Point. Probably I will upload this one in the afternoon for all people who are not able to join this morning session. During the session, you may probably require to put and share your input through the Q&A box. Please feel free, and if you have any question, reach out to me or Sylwia. Thank you again, and enjoy the session. Please, Sylwia.
Okay, good morning, everyone. What a lovely day. I hope you enjoy it. We've got a CPD session later on this afternoon, so we are looking forward to seeing you there as well. Today's session, as Luca mentioned, is about exit tickets with Brisk. I'm sorry. So I think I was on mute. So welcome, everyone. What a lovely sunny day. I hope you're enjoying the morning. This session is about exit tickets with Brisk. Very briefly, for those of you who are perhaps new to this session, why we're doing this is just to introduce the culture of sharing good practice within our college. And our pledge to you is that we promise to start and finish those sessions on time to give you quality and something that you can take away from. So let's get started. Today's aims and objectives of the sessions are to explore Brisk, a powerful tool for formative assessment, and how its assess feature can streamline student feedback and engagement, but also to share some exciting news with regards to Brisk new features. So wait until the end. Where it sits with our TLA framework, today's session is probably sitting within enhanced practices of assessment and learning checks, where learners understand the assessment schedule for the study program and know how they will be assessed. And through regular informative constructive feedback, learners are able to increase their understanding and further enhance their practical skills. So for those of you who might have missed my previous bite-sized session on giving feedback and more with Brisk, you can go to Staff Info Point to Bitesize CPD and scroll down to find this session, Giving Feedback and More with Brisk, just so that you can get familiar with how to get Brisk extension and how you can actually use Brisk to give feedback, because today's session is on another feature of Brisk. Those of you who might have actually been in my previous session on Brisk, where I talked about how Brisk can generate feedback on students' assignments, a question to you: have you used Brisk before? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah, so if you can just perhaps write your comments, that would be really good. Have you used Brisk before? And if so, how? How effective is Brisk for you? If you could just write your comments, that would be really, really good. And while you're doing this, Brisk, for those of you who don't know, who've never heard of Brisk, it's an AI-powered tool designed to enhance teaching efficiency by automating tasks such as feedback, assessments, and quick checks for understanding. And this is the focus of today's session: quick checks for understanding. This is the icon, the Brisk symbol here. We're going to look at Boost Student Activity feature today, and we're going to understand the Assess feature within that Boost Student Activity. So Brisk Assess feature allows you to create exit tickets, which are quick assessments to check student learning instantly. And the key benefits of it will be that it saves time by generating quick formative assessments. It also provides instant insights into student understanding, and it supports differentiated instruction by allowing tailored feedback. So exit tickets in a nutshell are short assessments at the end of a lesson to gauge student understanding. So what I'm going to show you today, you can do at the end of the lesson, or also these could be set up as independent work for students to complete at home, which is really, really good. So what we do, we go to Brisk. Once you've got the extension and you've got it pinned into your toolbar, at the end of this presentation, you will see the steps how to do this in case you don't know how to do it. You've got this icon here, that's the Brisk, and you go to Boost Student Activity. So I've got this video. I'm just going to go to this video about, for example, any video, Dylan William feedback on learning. And I want my students, for example, to engage with this video. I post this video on Google Classroom and I never know whether they've actually watched it or not. So Brisk can actually help me to check whether students have actively engaged with the video. So what I do, here you've got the Brisk icon, you click on it. If that pops out, just close it and go back to it again. You go to Boost Student Activity right here. And then within this, you go to Assess and you go to Exit Ticket. Right, so here you can choose the grade, maybe university, because this is about feedback, so it's for staff. And you click Brisket. So what Brisk will do, it will generate within seconds learning objectives based on the content of the video that you want to share with your students. And it will create a QR code, like you've got one here, that you can share on Google Classroom. You can also copy the link. However, before you do this, what I suggest you do is to create classes, because then you will be able to monitor students' progress. So you can go to Add Class. These are all my classes that I've already created. If you haven't got any, you just click Add Class, name it, and then you can share it with your students. So what you can see here, students will basically get a link on Google Classroom because you can share it on Google Classroom with them. They will click on the link of the YouTube, they will watch the YouTube video, and then they'll have to go through learning objectives. These are the learning objectives. Once they have read them, they can click Let's Go. And Brisk is an uses AI generated questions. So for example, hello, I'm glad to see you. Let's dive into our topic on effective feedback in education. To start, can you define involving feedback in your own words? And you type your answer basically here. And once Brisk, the AI, has identified that you've met all the learning objectives, it'll say, do you have any other questions? If not, thank you. If you write, for example, I don't know, it will prompt you with some questions so that you can provide the answer. So you can also do it with a Google Slide, for example. So this is the presentation I'm going to share with my students today. I'm starting a new class, and exactly the same thing. You click on Boost Student Activity, assess, exit tickets, maybe not university, let's say 6th grade, and then it will create learning objectives based on this Google slide. So it's an induction slide, and it will generate learning objectives based on this slide. So as you can see, I can click on preview and edit. And these are the learning objectives. Identify at least 3 class rules from the ESOL course, and then you can share it on Google Classroom. But what's great about it, let me just go to, bear with me. Go to any Brisk, go to the Brisk, for example, and what you can have here is a little red icon. You click on it and it will take you to all your classes that you've created, and you will be able to track your students' progress here. So for example, you've got, let me just go to any of my classes, say, you've got this one, and I want to see how well my students have engaged with this task. So all in green means they've met all the learning objectives, and I can view them. Yes, I can see how well students have actually engaged with this activity, which is really good. You can share it at the beginning of the lesson with your class and say, oh, make sure that you do it, okay? If you set it up as an independent work for them. Right, so that's one of the features of Brisk that you can do with your students. Another exciting thing that Brisk can now do is it can give you feedback on handwritten work. Right, so how do we do it? If you watched my previous session on Brisk giving feedback, some of the comments from you I've heard was that, oh, it can't actually give feedback on students' handwritten work. Well, now the good news is that it can. So what you do, you click on the Brisk icon, and you've got here a little sign, upload. So you click on upload. You've got your students' work, for example, saved as an image. You get your students to send you an email with a picture of their work, or they can upload it on Google Classroom, whichever way you prefer. And then what I do, I use a snip tool, for example, of that student's work and save it as an image. If you have another way of doing this, do let me know. I'll be happy to find out other ways of doing this. But so I go onto image and I find my student's work that I've got saved. It's handwritten. It can actually read. This handwriting is pretty legible, you know. But if it's not, then it can read. However, we need to be mindful that it may make mistakes, you know. So just be mindful about it. And then what we do here is to click on Give Feedback. There are three options you can choose. I'm going to use rubrics, and very briefly, very quickly, I'm going to write paragraphs, spelling, grammar. However, be more precise. For example, paragraphs. You can add rubrics saying, make sure you have the topic sentence with the expansion of ideas at least twice. So that's more specific assessment criteria, but I don't have time now, so I'm just going to do it really quickly. You change the grade here, and then you Brisk it. And what it will do, it will generate feedback based on my rubric criteria. Some of it may not be relevant, so do go through it and delete the stuff that you don't want. If you're happy with it, you copy all and give that feedback to your students. What I suggest you do is to make it more personal. For example, hi Tom, here is feedback for you. Do let me know if you have any questions or something like that. Yes, that is one of the ways you can do it. So yes, so that's these are the basic learning, not learning, features of Brisk. Here you've got steps on how to get Brisk extension and how to get started with boosting students' activity. Here you've got all the instructions, and this session will be saved on our staff info point. Now, if you'd like more support, please feel free to get in touch. You can email me, or you can pop into room T222. Happy to help. And now, Luca, do we have any comments on Brisk at all?
Thanks, Sylvia, for sharing how to use Brisk. This is basically amazing because actually we got a few comments from people sharing their experience with Brisk. So someone is also asking if there is student privacy and data security prioritization using Brisk. And I guess yes, because of course students cannot have access to other students' activities.
No.
So
You can. It's only you that can see the students' responses.
perfect. Thanks for sharing and for reassuring people who are starting to use Brisk. Also, some feedbacks from few people letting us know that they usually use Brisk because it is a time-saving features and also has an ability to enhance student feedback. And also is good to planning lesson. Thanks for sharing those feedbacks. I guess there are more probably we receive more feedback, but basically we're running out of time. So I'm afraid we may probably come back to you. Thanks for again all of you to share your thoughts and to join the session. And again, reach out to Sylwia in case you need any help using Brisk, and reach out to me if you need any contents to be delivered to you through an email. But please, you can keep using the Q&A box, and for this activity we are sharing this morning. And in case you have any question, use the Q&A box and we will come back to you. Thank you again. See you next week.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.